Hello, welcome to the Class of 2025 Sophomore Parent Night video. My name is Jessica Dietrich. I'm one of the counselors here at Lumpkin County High School. I'm responsible for student last names G through O. Our hope is that during this video, we're going to share a lot of different information that will hopefully be helpful to you as family members to support your student while they are here in high school in regards to how they can plan for things academically and personally that work for their individual goals after high school. So again, we'll be sharing a lot of information, but feel free, since you're watching this virtually, to be able to pause at your leisure, take screenshots, and definitely let us know if you have questions here in the counseling office. We're all here to support you and your student as they go through high school.
Hello, I'm Rhonda Irvin, school counselor for students with last names P through Z. We counselors will begin our sophomore parent meetings right after Thanksgiving and into December. During this meeting, we will go over each student's individual graduation plan, as well as talk about course registration and courses needed for their junior year. Parents are also invited to these meetings, and each student will receive an appointment letter during their first period class. We will also be sending out text messages and emails to families regarding each student's appointment day and time. For the 2023-24 course registration, sophomores will discuss their course options both for their academic and elective courses, and these courses will be discussed during their sophomore meeting with their counselor. And then following that, we will send requests home in March for parental approval and possible changes, and then schedules will be sent home again in May for approval and changes. Here at Lumpkin County High School, students must have at least 28 credits in order to graduate from high school. These credits include 4 in English, 9th grade literature, 10th grade literature, American Lit or AP Lang, and then a 4th level English. Students must have 4 credits in math, including Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2, and then a 4th level math. Students need 4 credits in science, including physical science or physics, either environmental science or chemistry, biology, and then a 4th level science, such as forensic science or anatomy and physiology. And students need 4 credits in social studies, and these include world history, American government, U.S. history, and economics. Along with those core classes, students must have 1 credit of health and personal fitness, 3 courses in 1 pathway, and some of these pathways include agriculture, automotive, business, world languages, acting. We have several pathways here at Lumpkin County High School. And then along with those 3 courses, an additional 8 courses to complete their 28 credits for graduation. This next slide shows an example of an individual graduation plan, also referred to as an IGP. And this is a plan that we counselors go over with each of our students each year. This is a document that includes every class that students take throughout their high school career. We document each English class, each math class, each science and social studies class. We also document their modern language if they choose to take any of those, their health and PE credit, along with all of their elective choices. So again, this is an important document that we will go over with our students each year. And of course, we'll go over these during our sophomore meetings in the next few weeks. There's a lot of important information that students need to know and also keep up with throughout their high school years. It's important for students to check their transcript, and this is an official document that includes everything that students have taken during their high school years, and each student will receive a copy of their transcript during their sophomore meeting. It's also important for students to keep up with their grades and their GPA, which is grade point average, as well as their IGP, and that's what I mentioned in the previous slide, their individual graduation plan. It's also important for students to discuss their plans with their high school counselor about plans after they finish high school. Also, it's important for students to know that in order to be accepted into a four-year university straight out of high school, that they must have at least 2 years of a modern language. It's also important that students keep track of their rigor classes, and this is associated with the Hope Scholarship and the Zell Miller Scholarship, which will be discussed later on in this presentation.
My name is Kate Gerard, and I'm the counselor for students with last names of A through F. I'm going to be talking about some slides here. The first one I'm going to start off with is the Hope Scholarship. There is a lot of confusing information about the Hope Scholarship, and we hope that we can clarify some of this for you tonight. If not, please feel free to contact your student's counselor at any time, and we can go through it individually with you. So the Hope Scholarship is based on core curriculum GPA. It is not the same as your high school GPA. So which courses do they take into account? I mean the Georgia Department of Finance, which calculates your Hope GPA. Counselors do not calculate that. So which courses do they take? So only credits taken in grades 9th through 12th count for the Hope GPA. So if your student had gotten high school credit in the 8th grade, those grades are not taken into account. They will be on your transcript, but the grades are not going to count toward your Hope GPA. What other courses count? So any classes 9th through 12th that are core academic courses, such as your English, math, science, social studies, modern language, and any other academic elective. So foreign language counts, and also things like psychology, because that is a social studies. So we upload the transcript into the Georgia Department of Finance, and they choose which academic electives they want to count for the Hope. They definitely do count all academics. So how does my grade count? Well, if you're taking a regular on-level class or an honors class, an A equals a 4.0, a B equals a 3.0, a C equals a 2.0, and an F is a 0.0. If your child is taking an AP or dual enrollment academic course, A, you still get a 4.0. There's nothing above a 4.0 for the Hope Scholarship. But if you get a B, you get a 3.5. If you get a C, you get a 2.5. And if you fail, you still get a 0.0. Sometimes they will give you that 0.5 if you get a 0, though, however, with an F. And it's year to year, so we can look at your student's Hope GPA. So how do you view your Hope GPA? You can visit the Georgia Futures website. It's www.gafutures.org. You will make an account. Hopefully your student will make an account. And then you'll go to the Student Hope GPA report. So in order to view that, you must have entered your student's social security number, birth date, and connected them with Lumpkin County High School. If you're having problems doing that, or you're not understanding because the website can be a little bit complicated, please ask your counselor. We would love to help you with that information. We do want to stress to all students, everything counts. So if a student fails a class, so takes English 9th grade year, fails that class, they still have to retake 9th grade English to pass high school, to graduate. However, that F, that 0.0, will not be taken off the transcript. So it doesn't replace the grade, it just puts it on there as well. So you could have 2 English credits on there, or not credits, but you could have 2 English classes on your transcript. If you fail English 9, it'll be on your transcript with a failing grade, and it'll also be on your transcript with the passing grade. So both of those go into account on your regular transcript and your Hope Scholarship transcript. So just keep in mind, if you fail a class, you still have to retake it, but that new score does not replace The F, it just puts it on there as an extra class that you have actually passed. I know that can be confusing. We've had students say, oh, well, I retook this class. It should have replaced the F. It does not. Anything you take stays on your transcript, whether you pass or fail. It doesn't replace it. So that's something to keep in mind as well. When your students are struggling, make sure they get help so we can get above that 69. We can get them to a 70 to pass that class. A lot of our students do like to do advanced academics. So these are our advanced academic opportunities. So make sure that when you're thinking about school, that you also think about extracurricular activities. It seems that kids that are involved in extracurricular activities actually do better in their grades. It keeps them up, keeps them accountable. But what we need to think about as well is if they're overloaded. So we want to make sure they're not too overloaded with extracurriculars, but we want to balance. We want to make sure they're balanced with extracurriculars, their course load, but we want to think about their long-term goal and their hope average. So what are their long-term goals? Is it to go to a four-year college? Is it to go to your technical college? Is it to join the military or go in the workforce? What are the long-term goals? We need to make sure we're looking at their correct goal so we can plan for their future and make sure they're taking the right classes. So dual enrollment is a great opportunity to take some advanced academics. They're only allowed to take dual enrollment for academics in 11th and 12th grade. If you had a student a few years ago in 10th grade that took it, they have changed that at the state level. So 11th and 12th graders are the ones that take dual enrollment. There are lots of different opportunities to do that, but let me tell you about dual enrollment first and what it is. So dual enrollment is when you take one class, but it counts for two classes, hence the name dual. So a student can take, for example, a college English class. The first college English class is English 1101. And so they can take that at the college or through the college, and it counts as English 1101 at the college, their freshman college English, but it also counts as their high school senior English. So they get 2 credits for one class. It is a great opportunity to actually save money on college tuition because it's free with the dual enrollment, the state application. And so it also helps them to see what college is like. However, some students may think that, oh, I'm just going to try out college and do dual enrollment. Well, you're not trying out college, you're actually doing college. So these are college level classes. Students that do dual enrollment, we recommend that they are students that would qualify for honors or AP classes because the rigor is really difficult and you are on your own taking these classes. We cannot see what you're taking. We cannot talk to your teachers. They cannot tell us your grades. So it is a college class when you're taking it. We do have many opportunities. Either they can do online classes through some colleges at the college campus, or we do offer some classes at the high school where the college professors come to our school and use our facility to teach the classes. So we want to make sure that they have all the opportunities that they need, but also get educated on what dual enrollment is, how it can help you, and how it can hinder you. Another way for students to take advanced academics is something called AP, which is Advanced Placement. So academic core, we have AP available in English, math, social studies, and science and psychology. So we do like for students, if they are advanced, to take an AP class, but talk to the counselor to find out more about it. They are very rigorous courses. Some colleges prefer AP classes over dual enrollment, AP classes over honors, and those colleges right now that we know of in the state are University of Georgia and Georgia Tech. There are some other colleges. That's why we want you to talk to your counselor to find out what is best for you. Do you need or want to take advanced placement? Is it a good placement for your student? Is dual enrollment a better placement for your student? Those are some things that we need to talk about with your student. So what is the dual enrollment process if your student wants to do dual enrollment? Well, the first step is scheduling a meeting with your counselor. It is important that we go over the curriculum and talk about dual enrollment and if it is a best fit for you. So there is a funding application that has to be completed. We like students to do that first. It's on georgiafutures.org, www.gafutures.org. This is something we would like all our students to do anyways, to create a Georgia Futures account, but this will kind of give them a heads up on dual enrollment. So we'll walk through the process with your student on completing the dual enrollment funding application on Georgia Futures. And then we'll look at the college they want to go to. So sometimes colleges require the SAT, the ACT, the Accuplacer, or a HOPE GPA to get accepted. It just depends on the college. So then once we kind of figure out which college, we'll talk about what it takes to get in. So first we have to have them apply to the college. Then we will submit a transcript, and the student will submit their testing score, or the counselor will send their HOPE GPA. Again, it really just depends on the college. So we want to give each student time to make that decision, and some deadlines are coming up. So if you want to talk to your counselor about it, this year is the best year to do it. For instance, if you want to do dual enrollment the first semester of your junior year, we need to go ahead and start thinking and applying about it in January of this year. So give you enough time to be prepared and to get accepted to the program that you want to do. So for dual enrollment, this is what we need to do. If interested in adding dual enrollment for next school year, talk to your counselor. So starting in January of 2023, we need to make sure you complete the college dual enrollment application and submit your items you need, such as your qualifying test scores. And then in February, we need to also do the funding application with parent approval through Georgia Futures that we talked about. So what to consider? Let's consider your schedule and your extracurricular activities if you have time to do a dual enrollment and if it works with you. If you're working or if you're doing sports, it might work, it may not. So that's something we need to think about. Let's look at your HOPE average. Do you qualify for dual enrollment? Let's look at your course load. Is it heavy? Do you need something more to do? That would be something we would want to talk about. And what are your long-term goals? What colleges are you thinking about going to? And your counselor can help you really decipher which classes will be best for you to take to get into the colleges that you would like to get into. Who we're partners with right now, we've got North Georgia Technical College, Lanier Technical College, University of North Georgia, and there's other universities that we've worked with online, one being Young Harris. We work with them a lot. Most of these classes, the ones that our students will take, will transfer to any other school in Georgia that is a state school. Private schools are different, so that would be something else we would need to talk about. As mentioned in the previous slide, we do have some dual enrollment classes that are offered on the Lumpkin County High School campus. Lanier Technical College actually has teachers that come over and teach our students during the school day, so they don't have to drive anywhere, which is great. So the Lanier Tech classes, a lot of parents think, oh, it's a technical college, but the academics part of the Lanier Tech classes, they do transfer to most all of University of System colleges. So it's something that is a great opportunity. So if you want to do dual enrollment and you want to add on the on-campus dual enrollment for next year, we're going to complete the interest form of this QR code right here that we see. If you could scan that, we'll complete the interest form. Mr. Jason Lindley is in charge of these classes and this dual enrollment, and he'll be in touch with the students that filled out the interest form in January and February and walk them through the application process. So the courses that we've offered in the past and that we're offering currently are English 1101 and English 1102, which most colleges in the United States require those of any freshman. Math 1111, which is college algebra, Math 1113, which is pre-calculus, and Math 1127 is intro to statistics. These are ones that we've offered in the past, but it is based on interest and enrollment. We have to have a certain amount of students that have signed up before the professor can come and teach. So that's important as well. So go ahead and take a minute and scan this QR code and talk with your student about it and see if that's something that they would like to do.
The PSAT, things that you need to know. What the PSAT is, it's an actual practice version of the SAT test. The SAT test is a college entrance exam that many colleges around the country use for college admissions purposes. So the PSAT is an actual practice version of that, that students take college preparatory questions in the areas of math, reading, and writing. Students who were here, if they're sophomores, if they were here during the day of October the 12th, a couple of weeks ago, they already took this year's PSAT. The district pays for all 10th graders to take the PSAT on the administration date, the one day that we do, which is October the 12th this year. Students will get their scores back from the PSAT in mid-December. They'll have that information released here at school, as well as it will be available with a detailed score report online through collegeboard.org. And that detailed PSAT score report is very helpful online. It's a good thing for you as family and the student to check out together. It has information about how they did on the different sections, on specific questions, and gives good tips and feedback about how to be better prepared if they decide to take the real SAT or ACT college entrance tests during sophomore year or junior year. So that's just definitely good, helpful information to know. Sophomores, when you go into junior year, they can take the PSAT again for two main reasons. They can sign up to take the PSAT again in junior year just as extra practice. It's much cheaper than the real SAT. Signing up to take the PSAT in junior year is about $20 versus the real SAT is about $45. So that's a good another opportunity junior year to take a practice version of the SAT. So that will be available to sign up for in September next year during their junior year. And then another reason that students could consider taking the PSAT in junior year, especially if they did really, really well with their score report that indicates they did highly on different sections, taking the PSAT during junior year when students sign up and pay to do that, if they do really well on their PSAT junior year, they get entered in for the process to be considered for National Merit Scholarship money. So that is another good reason to consider taking the PSAT in junior year.
Another great opportunity for students is the WorkBased Learning program. So to do this, students in 11th or 12th grade that are 16 years old or older can do lots of different things with this. It's not just working, but it's also internships or apprenticeships. So you get to learn these employability skills, you can do networking, you get to know people in your career field, so you can actually see and experience what you're thinking about doing for the rest of your life. So in order to do this, students need to prepare now. They must have 2 classes in a career pathway, and that's part of the program requirements. Miss Cooper is the expert on this, and her email is paula.cooper@lumpkinschools.com, and she is the expert that you can email her, ask her lots of questions about it. The students will have to complete a work-based learning application and meet the program requirements. Announcements and emails and texts will go home to the students and the parents about when the application is due. So please pay attention to that. There are some deadlines that Ms. Cooper has to meet and make sure that everything is filled out. We want every student to be able to experience this opportunity, as it's great, but they do need to follow the guidelines and apply on time and talk to Ms. Cooper about what they can do.
Staying connected, You can view us here at Lumpkin County High School. We have a wonderful 360 virtual tour. If you've not seen or become familiar with some of our programs, our facilities, our different options that we have to offer for our students and our community here at the high school, check us out. The website is listed here, lchs.lumpkinschools.com, and that's a great option to view a little bit more information about us here at the high school. Another great resource to stay on track with all things academic, as well as especially leading up into senior year. Our counseling department website, we do aim to try to keep this as updated as possible with different academic career planning and other helpful information about options, scholarships, things like that, that will really help our students as they look toward graduation. That is available at the main Lumpkin County High School website. It's right at the top right of the page. There's a tab for the school counseling information, or our direct website is listed here, www.lchs-counseling.weebly.com, or again, that can be accessed directly from the main Lumpkin County High School website. Another way to stay in the know about things that are going on, all things Lumpkin County High School, there's a lot of different practices, games, events, activities, is to sign up for the Indian Memo. The Indian Memo is a text message email blast that will go out to our families that are signed up for it every Friday, and it has a schedule for the next upcoming week, organized by day. So what's happening on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for each week, to be able to stay in the know about different things that are going on, as well as upcoming events, different things and announcements for our family members. So to sign up to receive the Indian Memo, visit tinyurl.com/Indian Memo, and that will get you signed up so that way you can receive that correspondence. Google Classroom is another great tool that we use primarily to communicate with students about different action items that they need to do, and it's organized by grade level. So the class of 2025, our sophomores all belong to the class of 2025 homeroom Google Classroom. We send out announcements about upcoming deadlines, things about homecoming, if there's events or speakers where we need them to fill out information for us here at the high school. That is something that they can join through Google Classroom, as well as you as family members can sign up to receive those notifications by adding the code that's on the screen here to a Google Classroom account that you have, or your student can sign you up as a parent to receive notifications from those Google Classroom alerts as well. Ask us anything. We definitely would love to hear from you if you have any questions at any point in time planning for life here at Lumpkin County High School, or looking at the future. We're here to support you. All of our administrative team is listed here, from our principal, Mr. Kirk, through our assistant principals, Ms. McPherson, Mr. Matthews, and Ms. Powell. They are definitely very accessible. Then here through our counseling department, our counselors, Ms. Gerard, myself, Ms. Dietrich, and then Ms. Irvin. Our emails are listed here, as well as our graduation coach, Coach Jones, who works very closely with a lot of our students for different things and needs for looking at graduation. He is available. And then, of course, a couple of our other fabulous support, rock star support team. We have Ms. McElwainey, our school social worker, who helps families and students with different community resources and needs. And our front office team with Ms. Gilreath, Ms. Self, and Ms. Gooch, who do our attendance, our counseling secretary work, as well as our registrar. So please reach out at any time. We'd love to hear from you and help you with any point about things that you have for your student, yourself as a family, planning for academics here at the high school, as well as looking beyond Lumpkin County High School, what we can do as students are approaching their senior year. Here's a list of some helpful links that kind of are referenced through different points throughout this presentation. This is a great screen to go ahead and screenshot if you're watching this at home. Couple of these links that I want to highlight: georgiafutures.org. That's where students and families can create an account to view their Hope GPA progress at any point during their high school career, as well as if a student does dual enrollment, they have action items that they will complete through Georgia Futures. Then ACT.org and collegeboard.org are websites where students register for those college entrance placement exams, the SAT and the ACT. So those are things that students will have to sign up for themselves through those websites. And then, of course, we have our counseling website. Different information listed here about our curriculum guide is available, where students and families can view information about our courses, suggested plans for taking courses in which order, how we look at doing those, and then also a video that's available for how we as the counseling staff typically approach organizing the graduation plans with our students and developing what that looks like for each of our students. You can find us online through all of our social media accounts. Lumpkin County High School is very active and posts a lot of the different wonderful things that our students, our faculty, staff, our different sports teams, clubs, fine arts, all of those are being involved in. So you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And that wraps up our virtual junior class of 2024 meeting. We do thank you guys for attending virtually with us today. Please reach out if you have any questions or things that we can address and help follow up on. But we do look forward to meeting individually with our juniors coming up after fall break a little bit later in October. Again, make sure you check in with your junior early in October for that list. They'll have that appointment letter that will have their individual appointment time with their counselor. And we do invite you to attend either in person or on phone. Reach out to us if you need a virtual link to attend virtually. But we look forward to planning for an upcoming senior year for our class of 2024. Thanks and have a great evening, everyone.